Quite a thing to start off truly in the middle of nowhere, isn't it? Hello, everyone, and welcome back, once again, to Dredge. And today, I'm just going to tie up a few loose ends before I head over to the Devil's Spine. I want to check on my crab pots over at Stellar Basin, and actually, one other thing I wanted to do was have a closer look to see if I can't maybe find... Actually, I don't know if I've been here before at all, but I want to have a closer look to see if I can't maybe find that photographer. I mean, the mayor did say she went south. Well, we can dock here. I don't think I've seen this before. You on dock next to an old rowboat. Somebody is here. He's hunched over by the campfire, muttering to himself. You cautiously approach. The old mayor! Huh, you look suspiciously like the fishmonger. Did you throw it back? What? The book! I think you've mistaken me for someone else. I'm not seeing things. It's really you, isn't it? Who do you think I am? He turns away, wringing his hands. He speaks to the fire. Look at those eyes. It was him. Him and his wife. They dredged up that old book, but something cloaked in fog followed it out. Right through the boat. Boom! The man makes crude explosion noises and motions wide with his hands, still talking to the fire as though pantomiming a story to a child. It spoke. It said it was coming for our breath, that we wouldn't be needing it soon. And then the darkness crashed down. An age later, some of us washed up on the shore, and him still clutching that book. Throw it back, we cried as the fog rolled ashore. We thought, surely it can still be undone. What book? Silver and Crimson. The book covered in our blood. The book carried by the collector. You're not making any sense. Throw it back! The man closes his eyes tight as he holds back tears. His voice falls to a whisper. Please, the lighthouse keeper. She saw. She knows where it came from. Where it needs to go. Tell me more about this book. Silver and Crimson. Silver and Crimson. He rocks back and forth, staring through the flames. What do you know about the fog? It cloaks that calamitous thing. It's evil. Haven't you felt it? What does the lighthouse keeper have to do with this? She saw it all. That ruinous day. Ask her. Beg her. Tell her I... He trails off, his face collapsing in sorrow. Okay, we just got a new priority 1 job. But for now, I think I should rest here. I'm starting to wonder if maybe I shouldn't maybe put a hold on helping that guy until I find out for sure. In the meantime, I'm going to do a little bit more exploring around Stellar Basin, some of these offshore isles, and some of the interiors that I haven't seen yet. See, that's so creepy, because before we heard about how the old mayor was doing this, but now to actually find him out here, it's like the ghost story suddenly becomes that much more real. There appears to be something over there. You? A different gold death? You approach a hooded figure. Dirty gold robes obscure all features except for a pair of withered and blackened hands. Fishermen. Deep calls respond. Their voice gurgles with the sound of fluid in their lungs. Are you drowned? An answer. The hooded figure holds out a scroll. They tap at a shape depicted. It looks like a red snapper. Another one of you, huh? Well, we need to trawl for those. Okay. Well, let me explain something here. I'm a little hesitant to do this because... Or rather, maybe I shouldn't be hesitant. Because as of right now, like an hour or two ago, at the time of this recording, the first episode has just gone live. And one of you told me in those comments that the quest with the other hooded figure is actually timed. So he's probably definitely dead, because we're on like day 70 now. Oh, there's something here as well. Who are you? Expedition... We found the photographer! Hello. Sorry, would you step out of the way for a moment? You're in my shot. You move to the side. A few seconds later, the photographer sighs in exasperation and mutters to herself. No, this simply won't do. What's the matter? The angle of this lens is all wrong. I'll never get a close-up shot of anything with this. And the others... I fear they were lost overboard. Lost and found, you'll be happy to know? She sighs again and looks off to the west. I was sailing from Stellar Basin, you see, squeezing my boat through a narrow gap between two islands, and then I crashed into some coral. I thought I heard something in the water behind me, so I dared not stop. If you were able to retrieve the lenses for me, let me see. She rummages through what few belongings survived the trip. I have a spare camera here that I won't need. You're welcome to it if you can find those lenses. I'll mark on your map where I think I lost them. No need. I can go get them for you right now. But as the rain starts and the fog sets in... That story that we heard was truly haunting. I mean, after everything we'd been through, and we even found a new fish, moonfish. Brilliant glittering scales give this fish its name. Uniquely, it's the only known warm-blooded fish. Oh, wow. Oh, there's something here. Ow. There's some boxes scattered haphazardly on the shore. Scrap of paper with a large red cross in one corner. In another corner, a line has been drawn. Have we just found ourselves a good old-fashioned treasure map? And we can also grab some of this stuff for sale and for use in upgrades. Okay, we need to get ourselves to the merchant ASAP, but does that actually affect our map? And let's head over to the floating dock, because I had actually queued up some stuff for upgrades. So we can get that, we can get more, we can't quite get this just yet, but we're close. And as for this, we might as well preload you with some wood. It's at this point in the game, and I've done so much dredging, that this screen actually becomes kind of an alternate storage space. How's this crab pot doing? Anything good? Wow, we got a whole lot. I didn't know we could catch octopi in these things. But here they are. And a whole bunch of blue crabs. In fact, these outer islands seem to have a lot still to discover. A sickly stench rises from your cargo hold. What does that mean? I mean, I can't exactly check right now. Okay, the foul smell grows stronger. Oh, I see. It's spreading amongst them. Okay, well, let's start discarding these crabs. Not like I really care about them. I can't find this photographer again. I mean, there's not a whole lot of places it could be. Oh my. You look exhausted. You're not forgetting to get some sleep, are you? Well, it kind of takes a few days to find anything out here. Yeah, taking breaks. You know I found your predecessor, right? And I need to talk to the lighthouse keeper about that. What is it? What do you know about the Silver and Crimson book? She shudders at the very mention of the book. You're really asking me? After all this time? You know it must be returned. She looks at you with deep pity. You have to move on. For her sake as well as yours. Take control. Be rid of that thing once and for all. That was creepy and cryptic, but it doesn't really help me. Anyway, there were more dialogue options, so here I am knocking on your door again comedically. What do you know about the old mayor? I try not to think about him. It's a painful memory for us all. Some nights I still think I can hear the hum of his engines sailing past the bay. But I know he's gone, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. So, we really can't discuss the elephant in the room here? That I have information she doesn't have? Okay. Fishmonger, I have exotic stuff for you. Next to the dock is a derelict campsite. Strange symbols are scratched into the sand. What do you want to do? Is this something different? Is this not where the mayor was? Search the campsite. An extremely rough and worn sheet of fabric has collapsed at the base of some wooden supports. There's nothing remarkable about it. Let's inspect the symbols in the sand. The symbols span the breadth of the camp, twisting this way and that. Some are grouped together into what must be words. Fresh footprints tread carefully around each symbol. The last symbol trails off hurriedly and looks unfinished. Let's inspect the footprints. Whoever left the footprints was barefoot. The prints are large and wide, perhaps indicating that they were left by a man. But you don't know much about footprints. Well, of course, I'm a sailor. Inspect the last symbol more closely. A glint of metal shines up through the sand, a sapphire ring. Okay. Well, that's that. That's all we can do here, but I get the feeling maybe I should hold on to that? I don't know. After the story we were told, everything feels so ominous now. It's starting to feel with all these, extra things that we're discovering along the way. I guess it's just feeling like I've been kind of blindly following the collector and missing all this other stuff that would have been telling me that there's more to see here, more to do than blindly follow the path. That there's something he's not telling me, which was clear before, but now I'm not just curious at the outcome without caring. You have the lenses. Well, I do hope they've not been damaged by the seawater. She takes the case from you and inspects each lens carefully. They seem mostly unharmed. Nothing that some careful polishing can't remedy, at least. As promised, you should take my spare camera. The lens is nothing special, but it should allow you to capture some good shots. If you wanted some advice on locating wildlife to photograph, just say the word. So large fish, mammals, birds, and reptiles. Tell me about one of these things so I can figure out what the camera tool is actually for. I'm glad you asked. Not many consider reptiles when they think of the ocean. Loggerhead turtles are a common sight in the temperate waters around the Marrows and Gale Cliffs, though they can be hard to spot in the water. When it comes to larger reptiles, they don't get any bigger than saltwater crocodiles. The mangroves and twisted strand are the perfect environment for them. Alright, well, look at that beautiful morning sun through the clouds over Gale Cliffs. Let's see, how do we use the camera? There we go, and that is our entire wheel unlocked. Take a moment to compose yourself. Let's capture this scene, shall we? We can zoom in and out with this, and we can take a photo with F. Oh, and it takes a Steam screenshot. It really is just a photo mode. That is so cool. Alright, well, I've been so annoyed this entire game how hard it is to make the thumbnails because I have to shop out all the UI. Ah, that would have done me some good before. Alright, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop here since I'm here, buy some explosives, and then head off towards Twisted Strand. I mean, not Twisted Strand, Devil's Spine. Whoa, look at you. Hang on, wait. Come on. There we go. Oh wait, can we? What can we do with these angles? Hang on, let's try and make this cinematic. Come on. Don't ask how I'm getting this angle from the boat. Just don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. How cool is that? How cool is that? So that's what we're going to be looking for. Oh, red snapper right here. Okay, we can get that for the guy. I could have sworn I remembered grabbing these through trawling. But maybe I was just being trawled. Here's some new abyssal creature we haven't yet identified. Ooh, Fangtooth. Small, with disproportionately large teeth. This slender fish has barely any meat on it. Well, it's in a cool spot, I'll give it that. There's something. There's something as well. Is that what we saw yesterday? I can't be sure. No, I don't believe so, but it's still something new. Barrel Eye! Oh, these things are so cool. A bizarre creature with a transparent head, housing two tubular eyes that can rotate to point upwards as well as forwards. There's something back that way. Something which I cannot identify from simply the silhouette. Actually, there's a lot of undiscovered stuff over here. And I imagine you are one of the two things that's needed for that upgrade. Oh, what even are you? Ghost Shark. Sometimes called the Chimera, this phantom of the deep lacks the teeth of other sharks, instead having 3 bony grinding plates fused to its skull. Is that a real thing? I honestly have no idea. When it comes to like these deep-sea creatures, you just never know what's real and what's fantasy. Alright, well, in any case, I've got some red snapper for you. There you go. They rip through the throat of the fish and tear out its heart. Yeah. Another sacrifice. Well, luckily we've got you covered there as well. They bring this fish up to the mouth and bite where the heart is. Their cracked lips part to reveal a row of sharpened teeth. Sense an opening. They unfurl the final scroll. This one shows a blue crab. Oh, we could have had a bunch of these. Alright, I'll go drop a pot. Alright, one more. Will that do anything? No? Well, then I'm really not sure what it is you want exactly. It just says 4 large, powerful fish. I mean, these look like sharks and loose jaws, but I just don't know. I'm certain that this is the camp where the old mayor was, and well, I really have to wonder after all that if we didn't actually see a ghost. Did you hear that soundtrack just there? That was far spookier and more subtle than any other soundtrack we've yet heard. It was honestly kind of unnerving, like I was playing like some kind of creepypasta copy of the game for a second. We got a new barracuda aberration. It thrashes about ruinously, jaws snapping and tearing its own flesh apart, a body sundered by ravenous hatred. Ugh. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I was excited to finally catch my first sellable hammerhead, but this... gazing shark. Huge bulbous eyes move about on large fleshy stalks, siphoning energy from its body. Its search is not over. Am I the one writing these things? How are we doing? Do we have any blue crabs? We got one. Okay, good. All we need. I'm going to leave these things here for now. You will give me $434 for this thing. I will certainly take it. And here, you can have one of these guys as well. Good God, that's honestly one of the most horrifying / adorable looking creatures we've encountered thus far. Alright, buddy, I got the last thing. I'm assuming it's probably too late for the other guy if he really is timed, but we can at least get this one. They crack and bend the crab's legs apart and feast on the flesh inside. Lips still covered in crab flesh. They take a book from inside their robe and hand it to you. Answer given. We await. Summons. They cross their arms and appear to fall into a deep sleep. Okie doke, well, what do you give me? Some good old Cat in the Hat? Advanced Fishing. We actually haven't had a book to read in a while, so I'm really curious to know what this will actually unlock for us. How are you doing, bud? Still hanging in there? You are. You just need that snake mackerel. Okay. Well, maybe we can still get you done then? Maybe. Or maybe you're not really timed, who knows, because you've been there for like half the game. I'm starting to assume that you're all the way out there. Whatever you're looking for, it's got to be in that direction, because we haven't even caught a hint. And then again, our last trip to Stellar Basin did reveal that, well, there is quite a bit that we haven't seen, even in the areas we've been. I just know one of the things the merchant is looking for is going to be up in Twisted Strand. Howdy! Howdy! Okay, twin prop engine disabled. But we're still moving more than we were before. I think this kind of confirms my theory. It's so hard to tell because we're so slow compared to how we've been going, but I think my other engine is still active. So it's definitely worth keeping at least one, although I'm not entirely convinced that their effects stack. Before I go on this quest, what should I know about Devil's Spine? Ah, yes. It's quite exciting, really. An active volcano amongst a city of ancient ruins. I must caution against sailing there, however. The ruins lie low in the water and would surely tear through your hull. Not to mention, the aforementioned volcano could erupt at any moment. You can occasionally hear it rumbling from here. Is that what we've been hearing? Now, the map has our objective directly in the center. However, something tells me we'll get more out of exploring the outlying islands first. And I really hope that rumble is the volcano. I mean, I really don't hope that. I mean, it's a mix of emotions, to be sure. But anyway, clearly there was something there at some point. From here, it almost looks like Greek ruins or something. But I think heading to here first will be our best bet. We do actually have... oh, come on. We do actually have the means to catch volcanic fish, but not necessarily the means to actually sail where they dwell. Oh, look at that. The remains of a civilization probably destroyed by that volcanic eruption. Or at least the last one. Oh, you're something new. You're something new. Well, it may be late, but we're gonna have to find somewhere to sell around here. Hopefully the merchant's about. Either way, we can do some research at the very least. Rat tail. Found at great depths. These are the most abundant of all deep-sea fish. They gather in large numbers around structures in the deep. We'll undoubtedly be finding many of you here then. Oh look, a great dome above some huge statue. I wonder just how much older this civilization actually is than ours. More unidentified fish. And some dolphins. Ooh, snake mackerel! Okay, you know what? Forget this whole expedition. We are leaving now. There's a dock there. I don't know if we can use it, and some stuff to dredge, but I don't care. I don't know how much longer we have. Maybe you're just making me paranoid with that comment. But I want to get that hooded figure quest finally completed. Nope, none of you Whispers at Sea are going to stop me now. Although poor navigation might be what does me in the end. I see you back there. And no you don't. I ain't losing my stuff to the likes of you. There you are, and how are you on this fine night? Almost fulfilled? Yep, you are. There you go. The fish has barely left your hands before splintered nails begin peeling at its scales. The heart is extracted and devoured. Their head tilts upward to look at you. They take a book from inside their robe and hand it over. Hunger sated. Now, I wait. They cross their arms and appear to fall into a deep sleep. I wonder if there's not more of you. But either way, we get haggling and bartering a guide. Now, that could have been useful up until this point. Yeah, every once in a while, the soundtrack reminds you that you've got to take some moments to appreciate the beauty of the sea. For example, this little fella right here. I'm not sure if this actually does anything for me, but it's still nice. And spotting these turtles is so rare. But yeah, I figure enough screwing around. It's time to really get to the bottom of this and learn what dangers are here, and more importantly, where we can dock. It's always so exciting going to a new location in this game and getting to see all the creatures that are around. Oh, whale jump scare. I feel like ever since I got this camera, they're just leaping into view. But it does seem like there's something over here. Something on land. Oh, of course. I just knew that these things had to come in threes. Alright, but you know what? I'm actually not going to talk to you out of fear that it is timed until I've actually discovered some more of the locals. Volcanic. We've actually discovered our first volcanic fish and even got an achievement for seeing everything. Okay, there we go. And pale skate. One of the deepest living species of skate, thought to use hydrothermal vents as incubators for its egg cases. Oh, clever little guys. Seeing something that tall leaning at that angle kind of makes me grateful I live down here. Oh, look at this. Oh, we're actually going to be sailing in amongst flooded ruins. Oh, and it looks like there's some kind of volcanic vents below the surface. I'm hearing some very strange noises from within. Ooh, armored sea robin. A small fish with angular armored plates. It has sensory barbs under its body that help it detect prey on the seabed. Oh wait, no, I saw a red glow. There's something down there. Multiple somethings from the look of it. Oh. Yep, this is very much an active volcano! What are you guys? What are you guys? What are you guys? Oh, you're like the mini-me versions of those things. Oh, look, we're actually getting sanity effects. You're like the mini-me versions of that friggin' thing from the Gale Cliffs. Okay, get away, get away, get away, get away, get away. I'm coming back with the troller net if you guys try that crap again. Oh, and just in time, someplace we can dock. Those statues look quite familiar. Huh, it's actually quite fortunate timing that somebody decided to warn me about these guys at this time in particular. Because at this rate, they're kind of becoming the subject of the video. Alright, let's dock. Ah! I'm sorry, sir, your appearance just jump-scared me. A man meets you as you dock, bracing himself against the wind and spray. Oh, rapturous day! A fresh disciple carried to me atop the waves. Come ashore, weak thing, and rest your weary soul. I'm just passing through. Are those scales on your arm? I'm just passing through. Nonsense! Your arrival is providence from the deep itself. I've been calling, and now you're the answer. The rite of purification is almost at hand, and you are to be my replacement. Sure, why not? Your trial begins immediately. Tell me, what does your spirit seek? Do we want the truth or the... let's go for the middle option. Yes, a pure vessel. Only those devoid of mortality can ascend past it. And your flesh, what does it crave? The sting of the salt, I'd say. Pain is a trick of the flesh. Do not surrender to it. Finally, what does the world deserve? Nothing. Deserves nothing. There's only what happens and what doesn't. Exactly. And yet it takes endlessly. Harvesting, draining. But soon it will know that it has taken too much. It's already too late. The trial is concluded. You still have much to learn, but that knowledge will be delivered to you in time. Now, your role as my initiate is to act as herald of the purge, just as I was for the one before me. The nearby spires blaze with eternal fire, yet the stone hearths of these three idols lie barren and void. Retrieve the three fathomless flames from the crags behind us, and ignite the crucibles. Visit the shrines of the deep. I will mark them. They will offer further guidance, and I must provide no more. Okay, Doomsday Cults. That's a new turn, but, well, I guess this is an RPG where we just kind of say what we have to get by. Which statue do you want to look at? Let's try the left. It holds a stone crucible. It's empty. I'm just gonna leave you guys until maybe I can find a place to sell my stuff. The stone columns of the temple are carved with ancient pictures and texts. Which carving do you want to look at? Okay, so we've seen bubbling vents and swarms of small creatures. But this is the first I'm hearing of a large, eyeless beast. The carving shows a swarm of small fish surrounding a boat. The ravenous children. Alone, they are nothing. Together, they summon her. Beneath these words, somebody has added a crudely scratched note. Do not let them grip you. Burn them away. So if I had stayed amongst them for too long, they would have brought, presumably, this beast to me. The carving shows a bubbling underwater vent. the breath of salvation. It burns those that mean harm. Only the pure remains, so passing over those is how I get rid of these fish. The question is, am I pure? Beneath these words, somebody has added a crudely scratched note. Protection. Follow the magma. Find them. And finally, let's learn about this beast. The carving of a large fish with crossed-out eyes. The unseeing mother. When the starving cannot eat, she approaches. Beneath these words, somebody has added a crudely scratched note. Blind, but she can hear her children. Avoid at all costs. This game really knows how to build dread. What I love about it, and what I've been saying for this entire game, is that it knows that legends are scarier than jump scares, that legends are scarier than being faced with a threat. And things are so much more terrifying when we've heard of them before we encounter them. Not only that, but when we've heard of some threat, we start seeing it everywhere we look. Our catch is gonna go stale. Maybe we try... I can see a message in a bottle over there. And something glowing in the ruins. I was gonna say that I want to look around to see if the merchant's been here, but somehow I wonder if even she won't come here. Oh, look at that nightmarish red haze. It's almost like the eruption that destroyed this place just never ended. Let's get a shot of that, shall we? There's our thumbnail. Beautiful at once horrifying. That's kind of how it is, isn't it? Are you something we haven't seen before? Remember, I am still interested in science. No, you're more of these guys. Well, let's follow the magma then and see where that gets us, shall we? These will always lead us to more of these geothermal vents. And over there looks like something else. Okay, so we can pass over you with no problem. And there's you guys. I actually kind of want to get your attention, but you don't seem to be swimming out of there. Alright, well, if we sail through here, you'll probably aggro on us. Yep, there you are, there you are. Let's not let you grip, and go over here, and you'll swim away. That's how we do this. Actually, it looks like those vents kind of bar you from entering this area. A stone shrine. An upright slab bears a carving. Two malformed fish writhing under the sun. Okay, so we need a couple of aberrations then, do we? Now, we need to continue checking these ruins and figure out where we're going. Well, we can see where each of these shrines is. And we can see where some of these new species are, can we not? Oh no, you can actually come for us while we're here. A ghost shark? Hey, you guys are over here too. No, 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 no. Go away. Okay, so navigating these ruins, well, that's the difficult thing. Okay, so it's not like you guys are a threat all by yourselves. It's that you force us to move fast to get away from you, and, well, if we move too fast, we'll end up running straight into the ruins. Making it our own panic, that's what actually kills us. Now this looks like it could be blown open. Not that I can really check. That didn't sound like a happy sound. Yeah. Well, if I can find some place to access my storage, then I could do something with this. Ah, there's Eyeless Mama. There's Eyeless Mama. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. I guess whatever they did, it counted as getting a grip. And we've completed advanced fishing. Man, even with these vents, I feel like I just can't get 2 seconds to myself with you guys around. Yeah, maybe that's why Mama wants me around here. Now, what did we get? Rods will reel in fish 15% more effectively? Cool. Now let's get that haggling and bartering done. There's gotta be a merchant around here somewhere, right? I'm just sailing around looking for any additional lights. There she is! Okay, go, 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 go! I knew nothing would scare you off. Hey again. What was this place? Some kind of ancient civilization must have lived here. Judging by the state of the buildings, things didn't go so well for them. And I can't imagine they built all this around an active volcano. So it must have become active sometime after they founded the city. I'd guess the volcano that caused them to leave, or wipe them out, one way or another. All in all, it's a pretty inhospitable place. I'm not really sure why I come here. Yeah, well, I'm glad you do. I'm just trying to take some time to really learn, like, what there is to know about this area. Are you something new? Well, you're volcanic, and you guys are here now! Which makes it real difficult to do anything. Frilled shark, wow. Alright, I'm not gonna even think about trying to, I'm not even gonna think about trying to look at this now. Let's get away from you. Oh, it's gonna be so frustrating to get anything done here. There's gotta be a better way to deal with you. I mean, I can probably use that shout ability. But some cloth will enable me to get some of those upgrades I've been wanting. While we're here, can we perhaps have a more casual chat with the Fanatic? I'm really starting to get worried. What if all this was just some plan by the Collector to get us over here and trigger whatever this is? What's that scroll you're holding? I found it. At the end of my other life. It washed ashore, as all great gifts do. It took some time for me to decipher the runes. It speaks of an incomprehensible door, and those wretched, twisted fish that swam through. Their flesh is the closest thing to a key. Huh. Are there others that share your beliefs? There are pretenders, failures that make a mockery of the deep. I tried correcting their ways, but I soon saw that they had lost the path. I left them to their ceaseless hunger. You're a fourth. Alright, well, any shipwrecks around here? Perhaps one such as this? He pulls an antique pocket watch from inside his robe. Droplets of sea spray crackle and seethe in the air around it. You're drawn to it too, I see. It found me during my rite of proving as I scavenged for creatures of power. It sapped at my spirit when I first recovered it, but I came to appreciate its strange nourishment with time. So would you say it's quite precious? As will you. When the ritual is prepared, it will be yours to carry forth. Okay. Well, let's light these flames, whatever that means. Considered by many to be a living fossil. Though technically a shark, it swims like an eel, hunting prey with 300 needle-like teeth. Spooky. And let's see if we can't maybe get some of those upgrades. All I need is one of these, and we can get that extra inventory space. Not like it's really the most concerning thing right now, but it is there. Also, we can get a better net space. Come on. And there we go. Now all that's left is here, and we can get our fourth haul. Alright, let's really start trying to understand this objective now. Because I still feel like I don't entirely get what it is I'm doing with these flames. Oh, I see. It's all fishing. That's what it is. It's just like those things that have been giving us upgrades on each of the islands, except, well, we have to do it 3 times as part of our objective. Okay, we can do this. It might take some time, but we can do this, and we'll learn a lot in the process. So let's just get a couple of these explosive devices out of our inventory. I think we'll also grab a couple of crab pots. I mean, they're not the best ones, but they're what we have here. And we'll drop those around because it seems like they're what we need. So if we get these out, plenty here, then here is where we will put them. I don't know if the exact where matters, but I do just want to get those feelers out. And now let's just start having a look around at these fish, because identification is going to be the biggest thing. There's also one of you guys right here. Oh, there's going to be an objective here. I thought you were in a message in a bottle, but that reminds me, we do have another one to read. My darling, I found you at last. When you left, I was scattered to the winds, but now I feel almost whole again. There's just one thing left to do. Throw me back. There's that phrase again, but now in an entirely different context. What does it mean? Stone tablet. And that gives us a pursuit as well, something we weren't doing before. I found an ancient stone tablet with a strange glyph on it. Looks similar to the ones I saw on the trader's desk in Little Marrow. He might know some more. Okay, in the morning we might be going on a field trip home. Ow. Before we blow this open, the bartering book is now complete. So that gives us 5% increased sell and buy. You know, there was a little bit more gravitas than that in the quest that we were doing. But let's blow this open. We still have one piece of explosives on us. There we go. And get inside. Now we'll be able to get at that one. Don't need that right now. What do you want? This should give us access to all three by now. We need probably, what is that? Is that a ghost shark and a skate? There you go. You can have one ghost shark and probably one white skate, right? Now I should check my encyclopedia. Are those nocturnal only? No, what I found is that they're actually quite the opposite. They only come out during the day, which means we're gonna have to stay here just a little bit longer. Which is okay by me. This place is so cool. Here it seems like the world of land and sea actually meet. This one's got something. Ah, spider crab, you're a big one. A freakishly huge crab from the depths. Okay, well, we can put that in this thing that's right over here. And afterwards, we're going to begin the hunt for a pale skate, which will enable us to complete one of these objectives. This one, we still need another crab. But as usual, I'm having my doubts that I'm really doing the right thing here. I mean, this guy's clearly trying to start some kind of apocalypse, a volcanic apocalypse. And after all the images we've seen from some of these stones of rock rising up out of the earth to consume the islands... And then again, it's not like the collector is much better. I just feel like no matter what I do, I mean, the only direction I feel pulled in is to throw something back, but... maybe we have to get it from the collector first. He definitely knows something, whatever that something is. Here's your final offering. The rock splits with an almighty crack. It crumbles away, revealing its core. Fathomless flame. A cold, unnatural flame. Dark shapes swirl and flicker inside. And some good old upgrade parts, including a research part. Wow, the ancients really kept with the times. Wow, this crab sells for 82. And no wonder those guys on TV are always out there looking for these things. Anyway, let's get some rest, and in the morning we'll head for the trader. This whole area has given me so much to think about. I mean, really, this episode in general, it's kind of been the episode of making me really question what my place is in this whole story. I mean, so far I've pretty much been playing the role of the hapless errand boy, and should I really be doing that? That's the real question here. Oh, we can actually do this. I didn't realize we could dock with this. A small structure sits on the island. Nearby is an abandoned campfire, another abandoned camp. An old stone structure is built around a statue. The statue has its arms raised towards the lighthouse at Devil's Spine. Oh, it is staring off towards the lighthouse. Whether its gesture is fear or praise, you cannot tell. Let's check the campfire. It's unremarkable, but you wonder who would choose an island such as this to make camp. Nearby, you spot a piece of paper flapping in a bush. A note is written on it. You put it in your pocket to read later. How about now? How about right now? Close now. Nobody knows. Does he know? Desecrated temple, forgive me. The only way he might understand. Must help him. Must stop him. I don't like not knowing what things mean, because it kind of screws up the way I progress with my own dealings, and it makes it feel like I could very easily blunder right into an apocalypse. Literally, there's at least 2 different apocalypses that I myself am worried I might cause right now. There's something new over here. Something new in the oceanic family. You look like stuff I've already had. Ah, ocean sunfish. Oh, these things are huge in real life. Though this giant is the heaviest known bony fish in the world, its slow, unarmored body is vulnerable to sharp teeth and hungry jaws. Honestly, do you guys remember the game Endless Ocean on the Wii? I never personally played it, but my sister was a big fan of it years ago. And these days, I would love to play a game that's just like that. Be able to just swim around in the deep, identifying all different species. I actually feel kind of bad catching all these things and selling them for food. Ocean life is just so cool. Greater Marrow, it's kind of strange how rarely I see you these days. You used to be home base. But you fetch a whopping 133. And while we're here, why don't we see about some upgrades to clear our inventory? Hello? What can I do for you today? I've just noticed, like, that effect that appears on top of his pipe to simulate smoking. It's little touches like this, and look how we can see the wind moving through the trees in the background that makes all of this just so flavorful. That's what I love, is that this game knows the vibe that it's trying to go for, and it makes sure that every aspect is just dripping with it. Would you know something about this stone tablet? The trader takes it from you and inspects it closely, turning it over in his hands. Remarkable. Yes, I do believe this is a fragment of a larger arrangement. He reaches up to a high shelf and brings down a similar-looking stone, albeit one covered with much more dust. Some years ago, I acquired this other piece. You found this near those ruins in Devil's Spine, didn't you? Yeah? Well, I suspect there will be more out there. I'll hold on to this for now and study it further while you search for the other fragments. In the meantime... so we've opened up a whole other side quest now, have we? Hang on. What's that? Seriously, what is that off in the distance? I think I had seen that before, but I had always mistaken it for this isle here. That doesn't appear on my map. It's almost like it's trying to run me into the rocks. What is this? An entire illusory island. That is so creepy. Oh, can you just imagine how many sailors have run screaming through the night from some terror at sea? Such as the one that currently pursues me. Only to run right into that and have their hopes dashed. And maybe literally dashed right afterwards. Here we are again, and look at that. I've just realized those aren't just the tops of buildings. That was actually once a bridge which connected these two mountains. I can't even look high enough to see what was up that rounded road that goes up to the top of the one on the right. But we've got some more catches here, and maybe one of them is the one we need? Or maybe I'll have to buy an entirely new pot, I don't know. Ooh, we found something new. Volcano snail. This hefty beast lives around hydrothermal vents. Its foot is coated in hundreds of iron plates, which means you could catch the snail with a magnet. Oh, then why don't we? Tell you what, if I buy this crab pot from you, maybe I can drop this here and see what that gets. And yeah, I guess we'll do a little bit more fishing since we got time to kill. I really need to start making my way into these ruins, and actually for that, I think what I'm going to need to do is pick up some more explosives, both from my own storage and, well, buy them from you as well. But remember, we're also on the lookout for aberrations. We've actually filled out less than half of the total number of species, which is insane to me given how much of the map we've traversed. In the meantime, though, let's bring some of that fire over to you, and we'll find out what it is you're actually getting at. It feels so wrong even being here. Alright, what say you about these? Sometimes that sound plays that almost sounds like something stomping up behind me. Let's look at the left one. A cold flame roars in the statue's hands. But we're not done yet. Although we are close on some things, well, actually, what we need is some aberrations. Aberrations and whatever that is out there. Another message in a bottle. June 1st. Yesterday was the reading of his mother's will. Most of the remaining estate went directly to him, of course. But to my surprise, she bequeathed to me her pocket watch. Curious. I'm not fond of the thing, but I know that taking it will mean a lot to him. I can't help but feel it's some veiled jab at me from beyond the grave. She was the type to do such a thing. Was I late on some occasion? I cannot recall. There's our artifact. It's even creepier navigating here at night, but I suppose it's important to know what kind of species might be out here once the sun sets. Of particular note is whatever we just passed over. Too close for me to see. Ah, yes, it is something new. There we go. Cusk eel. What are you about? Okay, we need to get far away from you, preferably back to the trader. This miserable-looking eel, often found hiding in cracks and crevices. Well, maybe miserable, but hopefully it's also valuable. Well, at night we can see what looks like a circle of glowing torches. Ooh! Now this place almost seemed to be on fire by night. You guys are extremely annoying, to say the least. Alright, let's use explosives here. Boom. Is there anything in here where we can actually do something? Well, we can hop over that and maybe you can't get in? I don't know, and maybe you'll go away if we stay still and the small ones don't lead you to me. Either way, I would bet that right here is where we're going to find another of those runes. There we are, stone tablet. Although we don't know how many there are exactly. One for you. There we go. And now we can start loading whatever we need into this final upgrade. Well, not final, but I mean, let's be real. After everything we've gone through, it adds like 15 new slots. We're not going to need much more after this, to say the least. There we go. We're already well over halfway there. And I'd say that's a pretty good start. Now, what say you, Mr. Crabpot? Aha! Squat lobster. Alright, so let's stick you there. You got a really weird hitbox, bud. Covered in tiny bristles and spines. This creature is thought to be blind. They process toxins spewed from hydrothermal vents. That's the cool thing about sea life, is that there really is no better place where the phrase, "life finds a way," is exemplified. Everything so specifically and minutely adapted to whatever region's conditions. But here you go. Oh, the crabbing here is the best. The rock splits with an almighty crack. It crumbles away, revealing its core. Let's take all of this. Let's try the right. Make it ceremonial. Wait, where's my... Oh, I must have been moving everything to storage. Okay, I didn't realize I could do that from there. Well, let's light this flame. There we go. Ooh. Oh my god, you look like the Necronomicon. Defaced skate. Bone replaces cartilage and erupt through soft skin. A frightening new form begins to emerge. That is... Every once in a while, one of these things will just actually jump scare me when it slithers up into my cargo. It's a whole new face, like, emerging up through its back. Some of these things almost remind me of something that might be created in, like, The Thing. An imitation of existing life rather than an evolution on what was there. Well, let us get this stuff back here, and unfortunately we are going to have to go back out tonight to deliver this aberration. And be very careful not to sell it. It's worth a pretty penny, too. Alright, let's... I don't have time to be messing around with this, so let's just blow this debris open. Kaboom. And get through. Oh, here's one. And now we need one more. And much as I don't like to, especially with our sanity being as low as it is, I kind of feel like I have to head back out. And that's bad. But I just can't see where the aberrations will be otherwise. Oh no, they're slowing me down. They're actually swarming me. Okay, I think I need to use Banish. Goodbye, guys. Get out of here. They do not dissuade the whispers, but that's not what we're here for. There we go. We just need to keep getting you guys as quickly as we can. infernal eel, grown fat from countless corpses that rest in the deep. Nope, no, 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 no. Nope, don't have time for you, don't have time for you, don't have time for you. Right there. This should be all we need. The rock splits with an almighty crack. It crumbles away, revealing its core. We get the flame. And something very much else. Encrusted talisman. A stone tablet surrounded by tooth and bone. A glyph of a hook is carved into the center. And it increases our fishing speed by almost 4 times. That's insane. Almost feels kind of too good to be true, don't you think? Okay, I'm gonna deliver this final flame, but to tell you the truth, I'm sleeping through the night, honestly. Yeah, goodbye, eel. The middle is all that remains. A cold flame roars in the statue's hands. Preparations are complete. The fanatic awaits. The flames are lit. I can feel it. The chill of the deep touches us now. It is time. Come. You follow him up the steps of the temple. At the top is a black stone altar. Stacked high upon the altar are layers of dark, damp wood. He draws the antique pocket watch from his robe. It sways hypnotically in the breeze. It's almost yours. May it mark the start of your journey and the end. Still holding the pocket watch in one hand, he clambers atop the pyre and raises his scroll. He begins to chant. What are you doing? He ignores you. The wind picks up, swirling sea spray around the altar. A cold blue flame rises from the sodden wood at his feet. What are you doing? His chanting grows louder. The freezing blaze climbs his legs. His chanting continues, no pain detectable in his voice. He lifts his arms skyward. Seconds later, the inferno engulfs him. It rages for a moment, then abruptly dies away. A cold mist pools around the floor of the temple briefly, before the wind sweeps it into the sea. No trace of the fanatic remains. The pyre is cold and damp. In whatever ashes you left behind, there better be a pocket watch. Good. The clock face swims underneath cracked glass, hands spinning erratically. This better not have triggered something that makes this not matter. You take the pocket watch. It's freezing cold. It vibrates in your palm, clock hands spinning wildly below the cracked face. But I'm not done with this area yet, not by a long shot. Alright, now, what do you want? Vermilion red robes blowing in the wind. Fishermen, serve. The voice from the hood cuts through the humid air. Deliver the vessel. They produce an old paper scroll. They want a cuskeel. Alright, I can do that. Alright, Meals on Wheels. I've got your fish for you. Now what'll be the second thing? The figure draws a ceremonial knife from their robe and slices into the fish, cutting out the heart. Well, you've got some more table manners than your others, don't you? They place it on the stand in front of them. Bring down the sky. Another shape on the scroll. This one looks like a sailfish. I'll have to wait until morning for that. Oh, and at night, we can actually see the Fanatic's Isle all lit up. Those fathomless flames, currently brighter than we are. I would really like to keep our lights on. This whole place just feels haunted. And somehow the sole inhabitant doesn't do anything to assuage those fears. Oh, that's a new thing. Just out on the open ocean looking for sailfish. Haven't had much luck. But there is something new here. What are you guys? Viperfish. Hovering in weight above the seafloor, these long fish bite and attempt to swallow whatever random prey they encounter. While I'm here, I think I'll start checking in some nooks and crannies to see if I can't find another one of the merchant's rare fish. I get the feeling there might be something like that here. Well, there are some new things, that's for sure. Are you one of such guys? Oh, you're slippery enough to be one. Boom, Goliath tigerfish. Fearsomely predatory, this gigantic fish is also one of the most aggressive. Its teeth are so large that they punch holes through the opposing jaw. Wow. You're a big boy, but you're one that we need for progression, so I'll happily take you. I found a Goliath tigerfish. That's great news. I'll add it to my records. Here, take this. I'm sure you'll find some use for it. Certainly will. And now I can actually sell it to you. $300, not bad. But actually, I want to ask you about the other ones too while we're at it. We've still got the gulper eels, which live at the deepest depths imaginable, so those are probably at the Stellar Basin. And then there's coelacanths, which you said they have a primordial feel to them. Maybe that means... Oh, by the way, it was one of you arbitrary who actually told me that that's how it's pronounced. They're probably at the Devil's Spine. You know, as I sail out here, sort of pointlessly extending this episode by searching for this sailfish, I just can't help but think that, you know, that fanatic might have been, well, a fanatic and crazy and stuff, but whatever he wanted to do, I mean, clearly he did it. And by extension, clearly we did it. That doesn't feel like a good thing, is what I'm saying. I have another rune. The trader takes the stone tablet from you and lays it on a table next to the others. Judging by the age of the stone and the shape of the glyph, these are part of the same set. I'll keep this until you come across any others. It looks like they joined together to form a square. So hopefully there's just one more to find. Now, I still have plenty to do, and I hope the game doesn't end here. But I do have one last thing to bring to the collector. He approaches, drawing closer with an incessant ticking. You have the pocket watch. And now that I truly look at it, I can see you have the book. That's why this is all happening, and that's why it had to be thrown back. It's a book of knowledge we weren't meant to have. You take out the watch. Its once frozen hands are now inexplicably twitching in a rhythmic struggle, trying but failing to move forwards. You place it in front of the collector. Though it has been some decades since I last laid eyes upon this, the sound of its mechanisms has grown no less unpleasant. And with that, our collection is complete. I must admit I am surprised. I did not think you had the determination for such a job. Now, with these 5 relics in our possession, only one thing remains. I suspect you know by now. I want to hear it from you. It will become apparent soon enough. We must make one final voyage. This time I will be with you. Not right now. So be it. Return when you're prepared. So that's that. All artifacts together, and next time we'll learn what this was all about. However, I've still got a skeleton drowned man to feed, and all manner of other chores to attend to. But that'll just have to wait until next time. Until then, if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this game out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.